Hi guys, today we'll be playing today we'll be reacting to Scribblenauts Unlimited 2086 Playtime from Baldis Business and Education and Learning.
Incredibly awkward. This makes me very uncomfortable. Baldy Kendo. Hello again, everybody. This is Dr. Kendo, and we're here with another Scribblenauts Unlimited Object Editor commentary. Of course, this is where I create your favorite characters in the Scribblenauts Unlimited Object Editor. Right now, we're starting off with the torso as the source object. You can already see that I'm calling it Playtime just to start out with. What would that character be from? Well, of course, we're continuing on some Baldi's Basics in Education and Learning characters, and we got Playtime, probably everybody's most hated character. I don't know. We got a new stamp, actually, for the series. After we put down Amola's body, the new stamp was duct tape. It's surprising that we've taken this long, I guess, just to use such a, common household item or whatever as a stamp. But duct tape is going to be not only for the arms, but also for that one leg, kind of to our left side. But yes, this game, Scribblenauts Unlimited, it does have an object editor feature only on the Wii U and PC versions of this game, and I play on the Wii U. So we've got a ram coming up here, and we've got the body of the ram. So we're just going to take the ram's body piece to move all the way down here. We started actually off with the torso just because this is all going to be connected to one item. We didn't need to start off with some actual, human or humanoid character. And by the way, everybody, I am sick. God, my throat feels terrible, and you guys are hearing me record this in kind of like the second day of being sick. I don't know how long this is gonna last, but this is one of those things that I feel like is gonna last for like 2 weeks. But anyway, we just put down a dory, of course the fish dory, and take that bottom fin that looks like a hand kind of shape. It has like 3 fingers or whatever. Kind of perfect for this Playtime character because, of course, it's really kind of just crudely drawn and badly drawn, I guess, on purpose or whatever for the art style. And a whale, if you take the back arm piece, wait, what am I talking about? If you take the back fin of the whale on the side of the whale, kind of on its underbelly or whatever, grab the back one, and that's for that other hand piece that we've got down right now, with a rectangle coming up for the neck, and then an oval we can use actually for Playtime's head. Now, Playtime is just sort of the name that's been given to this character in all of the research that I've seen, at least. Thumbprint coming up next. A thumbprint is actually a great kind of stamp. We used this, I believe, on Mimikyu for Pokemon. We did create Mimikyu quite a while ago, actually, but it's like the thumbprint is really good for a stamp that's like just scribbles, just like kind of scribbly lines and whatnot. An angel, the back arm can be for the nose, but those thumbprint stamps, again, we can use that for both of the eyes, but we're also going to use it for a lot of the hair pieces coming up. But first, we'll put down this jellyfish. I'm going to take this line tentacle piece, it's just an upper tentacle part of it that's kind of near the jellyfish's body. You can go either to the right or the left side of that jellyfish and use that. And so we got these lines, and now notice that, of course, I'm increasing the size and then decreasing it kind of rapidly. The reason that we do this is because the torso right now is like hidden by a lot of other stamps, but that torso, we obviously can't move the various stamps like these thumbprints. We can't move them too far away from the torso without increasing the size to be really big, and then you just increase it and then decrease it back down. So the decreasing back down gets it to the size that we need it to be at, whereas the increasing portion of what we're doing is to move it where it needs to go beyond the boundaries, I guess. So beyond that torso piece that we started off with as the source object. So anytime you ever see this or need to basically exceed the boundaries in your game, you can just, of course, increase the size. And look at that, that's going to actually be the stamp limit. You just saw that as we typed in a whirlpool. There was a little error that came up that's basically saying, hey, this game has a limitation to how many stamps you can use. Well, you just reached it. So yeah, it looks like we did reach the stamp limit with that whirlpool. Would have been nice to include some other things, but that's okay. We are going to make her jump rope, but you'll see that as another few objects here. We're in the properties editor right now, and this is where you can edit health and other kinds of behind the scenes information about your character. So when we get here in this series, I like to read background information and fun facts about the characters that we're creating. So you know what? Let's go. This annoying schoolgirl called Playtime is a character that appears in Baldi's Basics in Education and Learning. Surprisingly, she was voiced by Google Translate, but obviously skewed and distorted and slowed down in some cases. Her sprite in the game is poorly drawn, as most things seem to be in Baldi's Basics, and although she resembles the look of a little girl, her voice also does seem to be pitched down a bit deeper. If she spots the player, then she will chase them, and of course, if close enough to the player, she will force them to jump rope 5 times without fault. Should you miss any one of those jumps, it's back to the first jump and all over again on repeat. I believe Playtime is the only female character in the game, and another surprising thing to me was that she actually has unused voice lines, where Playtime is basically counting to 10, probably cut from the game because it would take way too long to actually jump rope 10 times, rather than the 5 that's in the final version of the game. Now for that effect actually, here in Scribblenauts Unlimited, notice that we've got the script going on to where basically when this object moves near an object, and we did that within 3 spaces, add an adjective, and this is important, to the trigger target, that's where the adjective goes. The adjective is jumpy, wait a set time, which is 99 frames, and then remove the adjective of jumpy from the trigger target. Also very important, check off this object is alive there on that general tab, kind of right when you started with the scripting and whatnot. This object is alive, and then we want to make it hover, so under the movement tab, check off both the little boxes or whatever for when it walks or whatever, it's gonna hover. Well, you know who else we gotta create up in here? We're gonna start off with a prisoner as the source object and move on to our next character. Now I will again be doing the jump ropes in just a moment that Playtime has, so keep that in mind. So with this prisoner, notice that of course one of the grids for the arm shape is kind of just moved up. It's like rotated upwards because this character has his right arm up all the time. Who could this possibly be? Well, the principal, of course. Principal of the thing, I guess, is what I've seen people call it, at least on the official wikis and wikias. But the principal. So we got shrimp paste coming up for his neck. The reason that I did this kind of as a different neck piece than usual and using shrimp paste is that the shrimp paste is all, it has these like jagged lines on it and whatnot, and if you notice the principal's neck in Baldi's Basics, the neck kind of looks like it's just like poorly colored on there, you know, it's just like skewed and kind of scribbled on there a little bit. Golden egg for the head. So this character, you could also make the head and everything attached to the torso. For this kind of purpose in Scribblenauts, I am actually going to attach the head where the head should go, like on the head grid, I guess, you know, so not the torso's grid of the prisoner's body. Red giant for the hair, we're going to put that all behind the golden egg right there. But what I mean by that is instead of this golden egg and red giant piece being where the head grid is, you could attach them to the torso and then just move them up higher where the head should go. But I am going to do this a little bit differently, just for Scribblenauts purpose. Iguanodon, we can take this, it's sort of like an upper shoulder or arm piece or whatever. Do that for both of the legs. And so, then we'll go with dough, D-O-U-G-H. And that dough, after we attach it, of course, to the torso, we can then move it down here for the feet, right there. And so it's like, I guess he either is not wearing shoes or he has some shoes that are colored sort of like his skin color almost. We'll go with the troglodyte back arm piece right here, the male troglodyte's back arm, attached to the torso and then move it over, of course, where it needs to go. We're actually going to do this twice, so the troglodyte's arm piece is not only going to be for this first part, but then the second part. I might have made those too big. We'll actually see once we place down our next stamp, which is going to be a golf ball. So with that golf ball right there, we'll color it up and then move it. I think I'm going to need to decrease the size of those troglodyte arms, so we'll do that. Both of them should be 1 notch smaller. And I'm going to go with a moon. The moon right there, we can move just below the golf ball and behind. So that's like a piece of his sleeve coming out right there on the end of the sleeve, I guess. We'll go with the pool girl, the back arm of the pool girl. Again, I'm so sorry that I'm sick. It's like this happens to me, you know, every year. I work way too hard, and now I have a baby, and it's just like I don't ever have enough time for myself. I don't take care of myself at all. Oh my God. Maybe you guys can.
Sorry guys, that's my baby
I
brother.
can really hear it and feel it in my voice. But let's go with a tooth fairy after we just got on those 3 pool girl back arm pieces for the 3 fingers, and then another one that it was for the pointing finger. You know, he's got his finger up for the index finger, but the thumb is going to be for a female tooth fairy, the back arm of that female tooth fairy. That'll be for his thumb right here. And we'll actually use it again. We'll take that tooth fairy back arm piece and make that for his back arm, so the principal's other arm right there. But we're also going to further that with cornmeal. This is because the hands, it's all gonna be drawn kind of crappy and whatnot. And so the cornmeal will be that to start off with the bulk of the hands design right there. And then bodybuilder. We're not actually gonna get to see this too much. That's why the cornmeal, it's okay if it looks really jaggedy and crappy and like poorly designed. It's kind of on purpose. So now we can go ahead and finish the face, which I think is probably the hardest part to achieve in Scribblenauts for the principal, because of course this game doesn't really blend. This game has like really hard lines. You know, the lines are all outlined in black for pretty much most of the stamps. So to get something that really kind of just blends in can be a little bit tougher because of those hard black lines. But we're gonna try that with a dot right here, because you really can't make out the eyes very well on the principal. And we'll actually go with another new stamp to actually make the stamp limit be reached right here, and that's gonna be jam block. These kind of two pieces of the jam block we can put up here for the other eye that seems to be possibly winking or closed. But yeah, I think we can now name this character right here and then go into the properties editor where we can edit all the behind the scenes stuff. And as you know, as I just said earlier on, we read background information and fun facts about the characters that we create. So let's go with the principal of the thing, or just the principal in all these basics and educate. Kendo, you can do it. There we go. Whoa!
No, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Player, then she will chase them, and of course, if close enough to the player, she will force them to jump rope 5 times without fall. Twist the principal's neck in Baldi's basics. Arm piece and make that for his back arm, so the principal's for the principal, because of course this game doesn't here for the other eye that seems to be possibly weak. We read background information and fun facts about the characters that we create, so let's go with the principal of the thing, or just the principal in Baldi's basics and education and learning. Seems to be referred to on all the official wiki and wikia pages as what I said earlier, the principal of the thing. He's a very prominent character, and like many in the game, he speaks with a boring kind of monotone voice. The principal has his mouth open as if he was shouting, and he has his right hand out with his finger pointing upwards. So in Baldi's basics in education and learning, the principal will move around the school quickly, checking the rooms for anybody who might be running in the halls, i.e. you, if you're running. If you aren't running, then maybe he'll go right past you. And of course, if he catches you running or breaking the rules or whatever, it's detention for you. Yes, he will put you in detention, sequester you off into that room, which is why it's a little bit more harder to achieve that in Scribblenauts. But here for the script, I am setting it to be when this object moves near an object, and we did within 2 spaces, he's gonna push. So he's actually gonna push you really, really far away. So in essence, that's sort of like transporting you somewhere else. Well, watch this. Let's see how it works. Okay, I'm gonna fly over to him, and then watch this. So boom! Like that. That was hilarious. Oh my god, we need to do that again. That went way too fast. So let's see. Why can't I? Gotta jump up here. Come on, Baldi Kendo, you can do it. There we go. Whoa! So yeah, that's essentially how it works. Let's do it again. Bonk. Yep, it bonks me over. That's so fun. We actually need, just to fool around, we should have some characters push, just because it's fun. But anyway, here's the 2 pieces of jump rope. We're actually going to show you kind of how these were done, and going to edit them a little bit, because notice that I started off with glue as the source object, and so we're trying to glue them to her hands, but notice that they didn't really line up when we zoomed in right there. The lines of the jump rope aren't lining up. So as you create these 2 kind of pieces, you're sort of just going into it blindly, and then as you're creating it, you can then keep going back into the object editor where you edit them like this and move them. So these are squid tentacle pieces. So the squid, if you type that in, there's like that upper tentacle piece, sort of like the jellyfish from before. And we did start off with the glue, as I said, as the source object. We painted those completely black and then put thumbprints over that so that they look a little bit more scribbly. And so let's see if this is going to connect. It looks like they're just barely off, so I'm actually probably going to need to re-edit that one again as well. And the reason I just called them JRL and JRR is because it's jump rope left, jump rope right. We're going to edit this one more time, I think is all that it's going to need, because I think I know what needs to happen. We're going to make this curve a little bit more up. It's going to be much wider of a curve on this right hand jump rope, and by right hand, it's to our right, not really her right. That would be actually her left hand for playtime. So there we go. It looks like I was just carefully placing this, but yes, we've got it now. So we can actually, we do have an adjective that makes her still right now, so we can remove the still adjective so we can see her in action. So there's playtime, just kind of hovering and floating here. Now, if we step close to her, you're gonna notice that, of course, we start jumping. So look at that, and if you stay there, you're gonna keep jumping and jumping and jumping. Now, it is set in Scribblenauts, of course, to remove the jumpy adjective. So after I've gone away from her, you see that the jumping is gone. Let's put our Baldi creation, actually. Oh, God, I got him stuck. Just remove him from that. Remove, there we go. Whoa, so Baldi's gonna be jumping up and down. Holy, Baldi, that was like a super high jump. What, I can't believe Baldi's got some ups, man. Baldi, what are you doing? But yeah, the script does work, so it worked on other people as well. One more time, just because this is so much fun. We got Baldi Kindle right here in the Principal Mayhem. What? That was insane, dude. That worked like really how it was supposed to, I would say, like compared to the game. What the crap is going on? This is so weird. Oh my God. That was awesome, dude. It like pushed me and did like a Pac-Man screen effect because I came back from the other side. But that first time that it like actually teleported us, it's seemingly like far away. So I don't know, that push script actually works better than I thought it was gonna work, if I'm honest. But again, thank you guys for putting up with my sick voice. But really, thank you so much for being here and viewing. Leave your suggestions in the comments of who we should create next week. It doesn't have to be from Baldi's Basics, it could be from anything. Of course, we got Jurassic World coming up soon. I gotta see that movie. I have to. But I hope you guys have a great week and don't get sick. So I'll catch you on the next vid, and thanks for viewing. Down the road of twists and turns,
I'm sorry, guys.
always anxious to see